Schedule a Zoom with me at GCExperts.com/Zoom.
Good to meet you, Jason.
Nice to meet you.
How can I help you?
Well, I was just scrolling through Facebook. An ad pops up. I just wanted to see what you guys were about and, kind of see if it's something maybe we'd be interested in.
Okay, well, I always tell people there's 35 years of stuff in my head. If you want to know any of it, you got to ask questions.
So we do spray foam polyurea coatings. We have our SAM, our cage ID, UEIN, carry all the insurances. We've been bidding some roofs here and there. We travel across the United States through various military bases, and we just haven't quite been able to get anything. So I got the bidding down pat. I'll tell you, stay out of Texas. It's way too competitive, But other than that, I just didn't know what exactly you guys, what service you offer and what exactly you do.
Okay, so here's the best way that I can explain this. And keep in mind that I'm just some dude on the internet. And so sometimes I slap people on the wrist, and, that's just life. And if you're not the kind of guy that can appreciate, somebody giving you the straight shit, probably should hang up on me now. I've done 1,000 federal contracts, over $1 billion in revenue with the United States federal government over the last 35 years. And one thing I know for sure is that most people, when they get on the phone with me, their life isn't perfect. Because if your life and business was perfect, there'd be no reason to even look at an ad or even consider talking to an expert in federal contracts. One of the most interesting statistics that I know about federal government construction is that you're one of 25,000. Have you heard me talk about that?
No.
Okay. You know what a SAM registration is? Do you know how many entities are registered with SAM to get federal contracts?
No.
1.2 million. It's public information. But if you go in there, that includes everybody that sells paper, everybody that sells bullets, everybody that sells aircraft parts. Okay. If you narrow it down to the next codes associated with construction, it's 25,000. That's pretty good from a competition perspective, right? Now, if you look at the last 70,000 federal contracts that were awarded, not dollars, 70,000 contracts, they were only awarded to 3,000 of the 25,000. What does that tell you about the construction market?
There's some primes that have a chokehold on the market.
Or there's some people that know and really understand how to get federal contracts, and others that have figured out how to get SAM registered, but don't really purely understand it. Is that a plausible explanation for that?
Yeah.
Okay. When you woke up when you were 10 years old, did you say, oh my God, I can't wait to be a spray foam contractor when I grow up?
No.
No. But at some point in your teenage years or your early 20s, you started figuring out that money bought shit and you wanted some of that shit. And so you started looking to get some kind of employment. Somebody teach me to do something so that I can earn money. And somehow you fell into the spray foam market or whatever path you took into the construction market. And you invested time to learn all that stuff in expectation for a return on your investment, right? Of time. How long did it take you before you started making real money? You could afford a nice truck.
Still not making the greatest money in the world, It's always a struggle.
Okay. Always a struggle.
It took a while,
Define a while. Years?
I would say I'm in Michigan, and the market didn't really come around till, say, I don't know, 8-10 years ago, and I was in it for 10 years before that. So it took me a good 10 plus years to really start actually making money,
Okay. Now, I put together the world's greatest program for replicating what I did in the construction market. And then I got into a Zoom with a guy who asked me so many questions. I mean, he just peppered me one after the next, the next, the next. And I answered every single one of his questions live. I mean, you can actually, in this video, in this Zoom I had with this guy, you can see my thinking process live. If you watch that video, you'll notice there's no cuts. It's just a raw, unedited video of me getting peppered with questions about the federal market and me answering them. I know the answer to every single question there ever was related to federal government construction, and I can solve any problem anybody has ever had on a federal contract just because I've done so much of them. Now, I'm going to do two things at this point. One is I'm going to light a light bulb off in your head. And the second thing is I'm going to end the Zoom because I know that you didn't watch that video with Michael. And my team said, watch this video prior to your Zoom with Sean.
Definitely got like 40 emails from you guys, so
that's okay.
And I was at home. I was at home last night, and my kid has RSV, so I didn't have much time.
Look, I understand that. Look, everybody gets busy with life and everything, but you know that it took years but you had an expectation of a return of your investment of time. Okay. And if you're going to talk to a guy like me that's done everything, wind tunnels for NASA, water treatment plants for the Air Force, down to kitchen renovations for the National Park Service. The smallest job I ever did was $7,000. The largest job I ever did was $8 million. Okay. My expectation is that when I say, hey, you should watch this video, you'll get a return on your investment in time. Because there's things that I teach in that video that nobody else teaches on the planet because they just don't know. It's publicly available, but when a normal, educated, reasonably intelligent person reads the federal acquisition regulations, most of the time it doesn't make sense. But even if it did make sense, they wouldn't know how to apply it to make money. Now, I promised you I'm going to blow your mind. I want to talk to you about a little game I like to play. I'm going to give you the answer to the question before I ask you the question. Are you ready for the answer?
Sure.
The answer is SAM registration. Ready to play? There's one thing and one thing only required to be a federal contractor, and that is a SAM registration, right?
Yes.
So if you sell cake mix to the Navy so they can make cakes on ships, what do you need?
SAM registration.
If you sell bullets or aircraft parts or even construction goods and services, what do you need?
SAM registration.
Now we're going to play the other part. I'm going to give you 3 scenarios. Scenario number 1. The transformer shall be replaced by a licensed electrician in the state of Michigan. Now, that has nothing to do with the company that got the job. All they needed was a SAM registration. But you'd have to hire a licensed electrician in the state of Michigan to replace that transformer. Scenario number 2. The transformer shall be replaced by a licensed electrician. Well, now any licensed electrician from any state can go into Michigan and replace that transformer. This is federal eminent domain property. There's no such thing as a state inspector going on to a federal job. Okay. Scenario number 3, the transformer shall be replaced. Now that literally means you and I can go out there on a Saturday and replace that transformer. And it gets written all 3 ways all the time. You just have to read the requirements and comply with them. And that's how I can tell you I've done over $1 billion worth of work with the United States federal government. I've never had a license of any kind other than a driver's license. I was just putting together the deals. So as an example, if I had a job in Montana that required spray foam insulation, I might get that job for $150,000, sub it to a guy like you in the Montana area, for $75,000, and then I just make the difference. Now, do you have a 3-ton air conditioner at your house or office?
I don't know. I'm assuming it's probably around 3 ton.
Okay. If you had to guess how much it would cost to replace that air conditioner, how much would you guess? There's no wrong answer.
Right now at my house, it'd be
Sure.
about 10,000.
That's about the most common answer that I get. Okay. Now, you know that federal contract awards are public information, right?
Yep.
So I would never lie about any contract I ever got, right? Because somebody
Yep.
could call me a liar. The last 3-ton air conditioner I sold to the federal government, I sold it for $107,000. Would you agree I could show you that award?
Yes.
Okay. That job was in Alaska. I live in Texas. I didn't go to Alaska to install a 3-ton air conditioner. Didn't have a crew that traveled with me. Never even owned a pickup truck. I just called a local HVAC guy up there, negotiated $15,000. There was some ductwork that needed to be done. And then I made the difference. That's what I teach people how to do.
Mm-hmm.
So with all that said, if you have specific questions, I'll answer anything you want to know.
I mean, I understand exactly what you're saying. We're not a general contractor. We're gonna be more of like a trades contractor.
That's just a mindset.
Yeah, I've done the general contracting, and I'll be honest with you,
For the federal government?
not for federal. I mean, I've been on some federal jobs, doing general contracting and stuff of that nature, but not, I just can't seem to get this polyurea and spray foam. There's a huge market for it in the federal government, but it seems like it's a good old boys club, and I just can't quite get there.
It's not a good old boys club, okay? It's that you're trying to tell the government how to spend their money because you're a spray foam contractor. And the
Mm-hmm.
key to winning and performing federal contracts is getting in between what they are spending money on and the people that know how to do that work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, look, I talk to people of all trades all the time: electricians, concrete guys, framing guys, residential remodelers, roofing guys. Okay, I talk to all those guys all the time. And I do run into some people that say, I am this. All I want to do is keep my guys employed. And I go, good on you. Hey, look, the world needs tradespeople. Okay, and I get that. And if your mindset is that I'm only this and I don't want to be anymore, this isn't the right program for you.
Okay.
I mean, if you watch any videos of me, you'll know I don't bullshit anybody.
No, I appreciate it, to be honest with you, So, okay. Oh, you there?
Yeah.
Oh, the screen froze for a second. Okay, well, like I said, that's why I wanted to call and kind of figure out what you guys were about and if we'd be a good fit. I really don't want to go back to the general contracting aspect. I know it sounds close-minded, but that's where I'm at the moment.
Hey, I always tell people you only have to make 2 decisions when you're having a conversation with me. Number 1 is decide if I'm full of shit or not. Because if you decide I'm full of shit, there's no reason to go to step number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And step number 2 is decide if I'm the kind of guy that you'd want to go into the federal government construction business with, because personalities are different.
Mm-hmm.
And I got no problem with your decision to move on in whatever endeavors you have. It's not going to change my life at all.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it, and I hope you the best, sir. And if we decide to go into general contract, I'll definitely be giving you a call back.
Take care, Jason. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.